Unit 3 Assessment, American Revolution. Number 1. The Intolerable Acts. First Continental Congress convened. Thomas Paine's Common Sense published. All of the events listed above occurred during the era of westward expansion, the era of good feelings, the Revolutionary era, the Jacksonian era. Number 2. British colonists objected to the proclamation of 1763 because they feared it would provoke attacks from American Indians, did not want to share control of the fur trade with France, resented the limits it imposed on westward expansion, wanted to be able to trade freely with foreign nations. Number 3. Responding special trust and confidence in your patriotism, valor, conduct, and fidelity do, by these presents, constitute and appoint you to be General and Commander-in-Chief of the Army of the United Colonies, and of all the forces now raised or to be raised by them and all others who shall voluntarily offer their services. Commission from the Continental Congress, June 17, 1775. The Continental Congress issued this commission to Benedict Arnold, Alexander Hamilton, John Hancock, George Washington. Number 4. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. It's the Declaration of Independence, 1776. This excerpt refers to rights that people earn by demonstrating loyalty to their government, receive by becoming citizens of a country, have as a result of being human, are granted after enlistment in the military. Number 5. In 1787, Congress awarded John Paul Jones the Congressional Gold Medal in honor of his valor and brilliant services during the Revolutionary War. Which accomplishment was Congress recognizing? Leading the evacuation of Washington, D.C. during the British invasion? Preparing the strategy for the American victory at Yorktown? Persuading France to provide military assistance to the Continental Army? Commanding a victory at sea against the British Navy? Number 6. Unalienable rights are also known as legal rights, natural rights, inherited rights, declared rights. Number 7. Which of the following was not in the Declaration of Independence? The intention to use the colonist tax money to create a national bank. The statement that a fair government recognizes people who are born with certain rights. The colonists' intention to build a new nation based on personal freedoms. A list of taxes, insults, and various issues the colonists had against Britain. Number 8. The events listed below describe an era of U.S. history. Closing the Boston Harbor, committees of correspondence created, Second Continental Congress convened. The events listed all occurred during the colonization era, Revolutionary era, era of good feelings, era of Reconstruction. Number 9. The excerpt below is from the Declaration of Independence. He has made judges dependent on his will alone for the tenure of their offices and the amount of payment of their salaries. Declaration of Independence, 1776. Which of the following was created in response to the grievance in the Declaration of Independence? Supreme Court, Presidential Cabinet, National Treasury, Electoral College. Number 10. The Boston Tea Party was the colonists' protest to a series of strict laws passed by the British Parliament. The British Parliament responded to the Boston Tea Party by issuing a declaration of war on the colonies, closing Boston's port and passing stricter laws, giving colonists representation in Parliament, killing those responsible for the Boston Tea Party. Number 11. Which of the following were the primary reasons for the American Revolution? Oppressive British policies and the American desire for self-rule, British taxes and constant military conflict with the French, quartering of soldiers and British restrictions on travel, aggressive British soldiers and no representation in Parliament. Number 12. On October 17, 1777, British General Burgoyne and his army surrendered to American forces at the Battle of Saratoga in New York. One significant result of this American victory was the Proclamation of 1763 was issued. Committees of correspondence was formed by Samuel Adams. Entrance of France in the war on the American side. Writing of the first Constitution of the United States. Number 13. Which of the following best describes the main idea in Thomas Paine's pamphlet Common Sense? Temporary alliance with France, military conflict with Spain, independence from Britain, reconciliation with the South. Number 14. In 1765, there was a widespread civil unrest in the 13 colonies over the issue of the Stamp Act, which was an attempt by the colonial governments to make money from the developing trade of exports, British government to regain money lost during the French and Indian War, Massachusetts Bay Colony to make money from the delivery of mail from the other colonies, Southern colonies to raise money by taxing imports from the northern colonies. Number 15. Which of the following ideas in the Declaration of Independence did John Locke inspire? Right to a speedy trial and a jury of one's peers, right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, freedom of speech, separation of powers. Number 16. What significant outcome of the French and Indian War eventually led to the American Revolution? The loss of colonial territory to the French made colonists lose faith in the British government. Britain expected colonists to fight the war at their own expense and offered no reimbursement. Britain did not offer aid to colonists during the war, but still declared sovereignty over them. Britain places its colonies under strict control and began taxing them to help pay for the war. Number 17. In the 17th and 18th century, England's mercantilist practices were a factor in the onset of the American Revolution. The policies were due in part to the belief that wealth should be evenly distributed, colonists' refusal to trade with the American Indians, colonists' refusal to adopt the Anglican Church as the national religion, belief that the colonies existed for the benefit and wealth of the mother country. Number 18. Which of the following groups did John Adams defend in criminal court? British soldiers at the Boston Massacre, Confederate soldiers after the Battle of Gettysburg, Native American soldiers after the Battle of Little Bighorn, Union soldiers after the Battle of Fort Sumter. Number 19. On your bubble sheet, please bubble in 4. Compare and contrast the Loyalists and Patriots. Include ideas about the government and their expectation for the colonies. A Venn diagram would work well here. Number 20. Explain the proclamation line of 1763, contrasting the colonists' and British view of the proclamation's intentions. You can do a T-chart here.